I don't really have time to invest in a woman right now. Once my kids are a bit older, I'll focus on them. I wouldn't rule out a relationship if the right one came along. You know what's funny, man? The guy who said all those things to me in a single message. We met each other in a singles dating group. He was active, posting, searching. He just couldn't admit it. And I get it, man, because I said the same thing. Different words, but the same pain protection mechanism. Here's what's actually going on, and once I show you, you're not going to be able to unsee it. So firstly, here's the thing about me. I was never the guy who got hurt and then shut down my life and retreated. I was hungry from day one, and getting hurt just drove me harder to find the answers. But I deeply know this need for safety feeling from a different angle. So in my 20s, living in Sydney, I wanted women more than anything. That was the whole reason I was going out at night. Beautiful girls everywhere, and I just couldn't crack it. I didn't know why. No one had ever told me the truth about where I stood. My parents protected me from the real disadvantages that I was starting with in dating and pretended that they didn't matter. Shortest guy in school, deformed feet and legs, but to a 17-year-old boy wanting desire from girls, they 100% do matter. They have a massive, real impact. But I was blind because my loving parents told me I was incredible. That's great, but I believed them. So once I hit the age of wanting women and girls, I was oblivious and ignorant. I couldn't understand why women just weren't interested. But inside, I felt like I deserved them. I felt like I was worthy. It just didn't make sense. It destroyed me. I just wanted to be seen as attractive to women, desired. That's it. That's all I wanted. So I did what men do. I drank, I partied harder, I pretended I didn't care. I said things like, I'm happy being single. And then I went home alone and cried into my pillow. The numbing of all this worked well enough that I eventually stopped feeling the desire. And when you stop feeling the want, you start believing the story behind it. I'm fine. I don't need this. I'm good on my own. So I ran away from Sydney to another town, trying to run from my silent, isolating pain, hoping a new place would solve everything. It didn't. The pain came with me. It always does. It just found different ways. I ended up marrying the wrong woman because I thought that was the best I could do. Not because I loved her the way a man should love his wife, but because I buried the standard so deep, I forgot I even had one. And that's what the protection strategy is actually costing you. Not just the loneliness, the decisions you make from inside of it. Like settling for a life for a woman that was never really yours that you wanted. You know the lines, when the kids are older. I'm not really focused on it right now. I'll take it if the right one comes along. I'm happy with my own company. I just don't have the bandwidth for it. You've said at least one of them, probably more than once. Now, you're not me. Your story probably looks a bit different. Maybe you gave everything to a marriage and it fell apart. Maybe you got betrayed. Maybe you just got so tired of trying in that relationship that stopping it felt like relief. But I've sat across from enough men to know the guy who says, I don't really need a relationship right now is almost never fine. He's just stopped letting himself feel it. He's protecting himself. You're watching this video and that reveals something about you that perhaps you're not really conscious of right now. So what does it actually cost you? This decision to stop wanting it, to pretend it doesn't matter, to keep putting it off. Not in some abstract, you'll be lonely when you're old way. Right now, this week, there's the Sunday afternoon with nothing to fill it, the massive win at work that you can't share with anyone who actually gives a shit, the dinner table with one plate and no one to share dessert with, the adventure travel that you keep not booking because going alone feels more depressing than working all weekend or staying home alone, all of which you've decided to label peace. There's the slow narrowing of your life. Your world gets smaller around you and you call it peace. And here's the one that really gets me, the slow death of the standard, of the dream. You stop yourself imagining what a great relationship could look like because imagining it hurts. So you just stop. And that numbness spreads into your ambition, into your energy, into the version of yourself you're showing up as every day. I've talked to endless men who are objectively incredible, successful, fit, funny, good fathers, good men, and they've got this grey quality about them, like something's being turned down. One guy told me, I've just lost my passion for life. He wasn't talking about dating, he was talking about everything, because it's all connected. The lost part of you that wants an amazing woman, a lover, a supporter, a partner in your corner, that's not separate from the part of you that wants to build something, feel something, be someone. And when you shut one down, you're dimming all the others along with it. And the years pass and you get really good at being fine. Wow, watching the dating content, running a dead Hinge profile, never approaching the cute girl in the gym, telling yourself it doesn't matter. It does, you know it does. So let me tell you how it actually fell apart and came to this. Not the protective story that you tell yourself, the real one. You were a good man. You worked hard, provided, showed up, gave everything, and she still lost interest, pulled away, still ended up resenting you or leaving or both or cheating. And you walked away thinking, relationships and women just take and take and take. They drain you. They're not worth it. Okay. But here's what actually happened. You gave everything, but you asked for nothing back. And every time she pushed, you folded. Every time she was unhappy, you scrambled to fix it. You said yes when you meant no. You swallowed your standards to keep the peace. And slowly, without either of you fully understanding why, she stopped respecting you. And when a woman stops respecting you, she stops being attracted to you. And when that goes, everything goes. That's not you failing. That's not a relationship failing. No, that's a specific dynamic failing. A dynamic nobody taught you how to avoid. In fact, you were probably raised this way with the best of intentions. Be giving, be selfless, put others first. Nobody told you that in a relationship, that's a recipe for losing her respect. Now, I know a bloke very well, successful, tall, handsome, sharp, looks you in the eye and feels like a strong, confident man. His ex-wife left him, now she has a new boyfriend and she moved on. Recently, this ex-woman and mother of his daughter booked a holiday, planned the whole thing, paid for herself and the daughter, and then called him and said, "You have to come. I need help with my luggage in transit. I can't do it alone." Not asked, told. And he was going to go, even though it was the last thing he wanted to do. He was frustrated. He knew something was wrong, but the yes was already forming because that's what yes men do. The yes is automatic. It's been automatic his whole life. So we worked on it together. The strategy, the words, what to say to his daughter when his ex tried to poison it, because she did, told the daughter that dad didn't care, didn't want to be there for them. He held the line anyway. No, I'm not going. You never asked me. You just told me I have to, and that's not okay. She was furious. His daughter was upset. Every old instinct in him screamed, fix it, apologize, just go, keep the peace. But this time, he didn't. He told me afterwards it was one of the best freeing feelings he's ever had. He's finally breaking the chain, and now he realizes his daughter needs to hear no too, because nobody's ever shown him what that looks like. A week later, after this, his ex called him again, nighttime, needed him to come round and unblock a toilet. She didn't call her boyfriend, she called her yes man ex. The old him was nearly there. The new man, he didn't go. Awesome. That's 6 weeks into the program. Not 6 years, 6 weeks to dismantle something that had been running his entire life. And that shift, that moment, man stops folding, is when everything else becomes possible. The right woman doesn't appear before that moment. She appears because of it. Every morning, my girlfriend asks me, how can I make your life better today? What do you need? Where can I support you and help you? She thinks about my life more than as much as her own. She thinks about my daughter, my ex-wife's situation, my dog, my peace of mind, all of it. And after everything, after all the years of wanting to be desired and pretending I didn't, she desires me. So here's what I want to say to you directly. Wanting an amazing woman in a great relationship doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you needy. It doesn't mean that you didn't learn anything from the last one. It means you're a man. And men are built for this, to lead, to provide, to have someone worth doing it all for. Someone who gives as much as she takes. Someone who creates time for you instead of consuming it. Someone who adds to your life and doesn't act entitled to it. The version of you that shut this dream down, he was doing his best with what he had. The marriage hurt, the rejection hurt, the years of giving everything and getting nothing back, that hurt. Of course you built a wall, but the wall isn't protecting you anymore. It's just keeping you in a smaller and smaller life. You're getting older and time isn't coming back. You already know how to succeed. You've proven that in your career, your finances, the life that you've built, the body that you take care of. You know what it looks like to decide you want something and go get it. This is no different, except this time, you're not just building a business or a bank account. You're building the version of yourself that a great woman actually wants to be with. And that man, the one who knows his value, holds his standard, and doesn't need her approval to feel complete, that man doesn't struggle to find a great woman. He attracts her. So man, if you're ready to stop pretending you don't want this, come and find us inside the Magnetic Man dating community. It's free, it's where men like you are already doing the work. The link's below. Either way, stop leaving this at the bottom of the list, man. You've waited long enough and the clock of life doesn't care. See you in there.